Traveling. Rome. So, it was 2007 when a group of us, 5 of us in total, my boyfriend, 2 of my best friends, and the boyfriend of one of them, we decided to go to Italy for our holidays, and even today, 9 years later, we still remember happily all the funny stories we experienced for 15 days in the September of 2007. The first step on our trip was Rome, the eternal city. I loved Rome for one reason in particular, the beauty. Firstly, the beauty of the Italian men, in particular all those handsome carabinieri who were around all the city's monuments, which made us think what the actual monument was, and what we were supposed to be looking at exactly. And secondly, the beauty of the city. Rome is a museum itself, a history museum. Each and every street you walk on has its own little bit of history. Trajan's Column, the Roman Colosseum, and the Circus Maximus, the original Broadway. Via Appia, where the soldiers' parades were amazing, and the catacombs, the grave of Christianity. It's also an art museum. You can breathe art on every street. Every single church is full of masterpieces, indoors and out, like no other city in the world. A museum of film. There are many places captured and seen in classic film scenes. I mean, come on. Who hasn't seen the Trevi Fountain scene filmed in La Dolce Vita? Or, the scene of La Bocca della Verita in Roman holidays. The days are quite tough as a tourist, with too many things to do and visit. Well, days may be tough, but nights are even tougher. If Rome through the day is spectacular, then nights are something else. Trastevere is the perfect place to have something to eat and drink, full of young people, restaurants and bars. It's like an oasis of fresh air. The food's great in the majority of places. I had 3 pizzas in the first 2 days. The best at Da Baffetto. The strong cheeses. Everything tastes better with some white wine. And the tiramisu from Pompi, which was close to the Piazza di Spagna, was just superb. The ice cream is also great. We booked an apartment and all 5 of us lived together, and every night one of my best friends and I went out at night after the long day of tourism. Occasionally we went out to Trastevere to have a drink, sometimes to Piazza Navone to have an ice cream, or sometimes to the area around the Trevi Fountain to enjoy the views. We couldn't waste our time sleeping with all that life outside. We had to go out because we couldn't stand the pressure from the rest of the group. They acted as if they were our parents. Every night when we came back, we had to listen to their constant nagging, and each time we laughed, it made them angrier. They still travel with us though, so I think they must love us the way we are. Days were really interesting. I love art and I enjoyed it a lot. St. Peter's is amazing with the Baldachin and La Pieta, Bernini's masterpieces. You mustn't forget to visit the Church of St. Pietro in Vincoli either, to see the delightful statue of Moses and the catacombs. While we were there, we met an old retired Spanish priest. He happily explained the story of those catacombs to us, and he gave us a little figurine with the image of the Virgin Mary. We had quite a few laughs when we wanted to avoid the guards at the door of every church. We went in summer, and summer, it can get really quite warm, and almost every day the girls forgot to bring something to cover and hide our shoulders or legs if we wore indecent clothes. It was funny how we avoided the guards or quickly created some costume to trick them with whatever we could find in our bags. It left us laughing for a while after. The Vatican is nice, but it's a bit too much. You walk through all the rooms with incredible frescoes, but you walk through about 15 before you finally arrive to the Sistine Chapel. And when I finally arrived to the Sistine Chapel, frankly, I was bored. There are also too many people there. It's impossible to walk comfortably. Traffic was quite important, if you want to survive Rome. Be careful with the traffic because honestly, it's like a jungle. Look carefully from left to right and then again, even on the zebra crossing. The pedestrian doesn't have the right to cross. Even though an Italian told me before, it still shocked me. He told me that that's the custom, letting the car or the million motorbikes and scooters that go past. You have to be determined when you cross the road. If you doubt for a second, the car will go and the next car will go. You've just got to put your foot out and cross. The cars will stop. Well, most of the time. Rome's full of fountains too, and not like the Trevi one, I mean with drinking water. We were really grateful because of the hot weather. All my friends said the water tasted good, but the fact is, the water, at least for me, was full of bugs. My intestines later found out, and after 6 days in Rome, we hired a car and started our trip to Florence. All 5 of us, and of course those little bugs.